In the heart of Kent lies a disturbing reality. A reality where seeking safety could lead you into conditions worse than you fled from. The Manston Asylum Centre is now under the legal microscope, with allegations of unlawful detention and human rights abuses. This isn't just news. It's about people's lives thrown into chaos. Keep watching as we unpack the harrowing tales of those caught in the crosshairs of a system failing to protect the vulnerable. Imagine for a moment that you've fled your homeland, seeking asylum from the terrors that have torn your life apart. You arrive in a foreign country, hoping for sanctuary, and instead find yourself in conditions that are, to put it mildly, less than humane. This is the story of at least 250 individuals at the Manston Asylum Centre in Kent, who are now taking their heart-wrenching experiences to the courts, alleging they were unlawfully detained and their human rights blatantly disregarded amid overcrowding and harrowing outbreaks of infectious diseases. The crisis period we're looking at stretches from June to November 2022. I think back to the words of Andy Baxter from the Prison Officers Association, who described Manston's conditions not as a temporary staging post in a civilised society, but rather like those of a refugee camp, one which clearly seemed unprepared and ill-equipped to maintain a standard of care or dignity for human beings. In his inspecting duties, David Neal, who once stood as the independent Chief Inspector of Borders and Immigration, found himself without words before the poor management and insanitary conditions he witnessed at Manston. I find it distressing that someone in his position was taken aback. It truly emphasises the severity of the situation. Now, I implore you to consider the gravity of individual cases. One report speaks of a Sudanese victim of torture and trafficking detained for 33 endless days, lacking proper care or even the basic necessity of a change of clothing. Then there's the 17-year-old Kurdish boy, wrongly classified as an adult, thrust among strangers in an already overwhelming situation. Most heartbreakingly, we learn of a Syrian woman who suffered the loss of her unborn child after her husband was removed and detained separately. This woman, alongside her young children, faced an 11-day ordeal in conditions that lacked adequate sanitation, an experience no less traumatic due to the absence of running water while scabies and diphtheria outbreaks thrived. Can you imagine the sheer helplessness she must have felt? This unfolding tragedy witnessed at Manston demands a seeking of truth. Legal representatives, Emily Soothill and Jed Pennington, stand firm in their conviction that their clients' detentions equate to false imprisonment and a complete invasion of their human rights. They are not merely seeking consequences or reparations, they are demanding answers and, most importantly, assurance that such a calamity never occurs again. Through legal action, a spotlight is cast on experiences that should never find place in modern society. It underscores the vulnerability of asylum seekers and upholds that these individuals, regardless of circumstance, have rights that include being treated with dignity. And that wraps our delve into the stark reality faced by many at the Manston Asylum Centre. For more stories that cut to the core, remember to like and subscribe. Your engagement is what drives us to bring these essential topics to light. Thanks for tuning in. Let's make the next one even more impactful.